Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to create campaigns inside ColdSend. So I'm assuming that you've already set up your infrastructure and you've got your domain connected, and you also have created your sender accounts, right? Those are going to get covered in a separate video, but in this one, I'll assume all of that is set up. Now let's get started with the creation of the campaign. Now on your main dashboard, this is what you're going to see. Create new campaign. Just click on that. Pretty straightforward. I'm just going to show it. Campaign. Let's name it campaign creation demo. I guess like the start date. Pretty standard. You can pick the time zones in which you want, right? Or you can manually select which times you want, the days, the usual stuff. Or if you just want to send 24 hours a day, you can just enable this and you'll be fine. Now we have two options here that are important. Enable email open tracking. This will convert your email into HTML. So if you're worried about deliverability, you like sending plain text, don't enable it. But if you really want to get open tracking, then click on this, right? Or if you want to add an unsubscribe option in session, we highly recommend that you do this because this is Azure infrastructure and they really expect you to do that. Otherwise, you're going to get some penalties or something. We haven't got any, but still recommend it that you do it. And then we proceed to the next step. Well, here, this is where you add the leads. You can copy from another campaign. I don't have any, so I'll just go ahead and upload a test list that I have. And this list has an email that is in my global block list, which is why it is saying that we're not going to import this one and we're going to skip this. There are duplicate emails in this as well, and this will give you an option to select which one you want, right? So let's say you got the same lead but in different companies, right? You'll get the option to keep one and skip the other one. In this case, they're both the same because I didn't add any other data. So I'll just continue. And here you can also assign variables, right? So my CSV only had a single column, which is email, which is the required column. Every other column is a bonus. If you can have as many custom signals as you want, and you can assign them to different ColdSend variables. And even the ones that do not map onto any variable, you can just create custom variables. I'd like to show you that. Let me create a new CSV for that. So I just created another CSV, and it has a useless column, useless, just for the sake of demonstration. But yeah, I have this column named big signal, and it has yes or no. I can create a custom variable right here and just call it big signal, whatever. Right? And it's going to get assigned to that. And once the leads are imported, everything looks good. You can proceed to the next step. This is where you choose which sender accounts you want. Generally recommend that you go ahead and select all, or if you have Google Workspace or Outlook set up, you can see all of them right here. You can pick the ones that you like. We recommend that you look at the health scores of the inboxes. If anything is below 50, skip that. Don't use that. There's also this option of ramping up. Now this is important because if you have a very fresh domain, right, and this is the first time you're sending this particular list and this particular copy, there's a chance that something's going wrong, right? Something could go wrong. So we recommend that you ramp up slowly. What this is going to do is for each inbox, it's going to send 5 emails on the first day, then 10, then 15, then all the way up to 50. And this way you can really measure what is performing, what's not performing, if something goes wrong, if there are bounces, you know, it's just a safer way to do things. If you like to live dangerously, you can go ahead and disable that. That's up to you. But if the domain gets burned, don't come to us. And then we go to the copy stage. Now, in my case, I did not enable open tracking, so this is not HTML, but I can convert this to HTML if I wish. I'll keep it simple. And we've already covered how signatures work. We have spin text capabilities here as well. So let's just say I want to say, or I don't want to say. I'll just put it that way. So this is how spin text works. In our case, you can even do nested spin tags, right? So I can actually just put my company variable right here as well. Or if I want, I can have spin text right inside of this as well, but just not go into those complications. All of that is covered in this guide that which is linked here. Yeah, you can go read it as much as you want. Now back to the email. Now, we have a reply to option here. So let's just say you want to route all of the replies to a particular email address, which is not included in inboxes. You can use that or you can skip it. It's fine. If you want to see how the email construction is going to look like before you send the campaign, you click on send test email and you can add, your own email can choose which inbox to send from, so you can verify if the signatures are working fine or not. And this will cost a credit, but you'll have peace of mind that this works. You can add variants. This is just A/B testing. You can pick the distribution splits, and you can add days between them. So let's just say I want to skip 3 days, and then I can change the trigger here as well. So let's just say not opened, it will work. Now, in my case, now this is important to remember. I did not enable open tracking in the beginning, but then I switched on HTML, right? And so that actually turned this on. If I select not opened, it's going to enable HTML by default. Now, this is a user experience question. If you don't like this, just tell us on Discord. We're going to change that. But just to keep that in mind that, whatever settings you pick, you got to stay consistent with those. Right. Now, I got to remove this variant because it was not allowing me to proceed. So that variant removed. Everything looks good. I'll proceed to the last step. Right. Now, this is where you can review all of the information, make sure that the time zone is correct, everything is fine, the leads are fine, and email account selected are fine, and everything looks good. Once everything's on point, you go ahead and launch this campaign, and you're done. Now, you can also go ahead and edit the campaign on the fly. Let's say you want to change the timing or add more leads to it, but you got to pause that first. Pause it, then you can click on edit, and you can go ahead and change any of the settings that you want. If they don't like the sequences, you can do that. Now, for adding the leads, you can actually go back, and in the campaign overview section, you'll see this leads tab, right? You can add more leads right here, and this will get added to the campaign. A good way to do this is to use our API. So if you go to the API keys, you can create API keys. If you go to our website, you can check out the API section. And so what I like to do is I create an API key, and if I want to change anything in the campaign on the fly, I just give that API key to my agent, which I use open code. If you use Cloud Code, you can do the same thing. Just give it the link of this API reference, and tell it, hey, I got this campaign running, which I want to change the leads in. Let's just say you got a campaign running and it had a lot of bounces, and you want to remove those bounces and then re-upload the list and keep everything else the same. Just ask Cloud Code to do that, and it's going to do that. It's pretty simple, right? Now, finally, I just logged into a different account to show you what analytics looks like, because that was a demo account. It was empty. So here in the analytics section, you can see all of your campaigns, their information, what's performing, what's not performing, the user stuff. Take a screenshot, credit us, and we'll push you. Thank you.